This nation was rocked with the 3 murders that occurred within a short space of time. Murders of women, the youngest being 16 years old, horrifically, brutally murdered at the hands of perpetrators, of whom 2 are alleged to be their partners. My heart, my prayers, my everything goes out to the families who must be experiencing tremendous pain, suffering, and anguish at the loss of these lives. One, a very young woman, and it speaks to the very horrific reality that violence against women continues in our country. And while I am speaking on this, I want the family members, those in Region 1, and those other persons who have lost these women from your homes to know that the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security stands ready to support and offer our assistance to you in this time of sorrow and grief. The ministry has, over the last few years, developed a system to support, to intervene in cases of gender-based violence, what we call domestic violence, interpersonal violence, and family violence. We have expended efforts to ensure that there is a mechanism, a 24-hour toll-free hotline, 914, where reports of violence can be made. This hotline is there for everyone in every region, in every community. This hotline is to be utilized in such a way that even if it is an active case of violence happening, you can call for us to have the police intervene. That is how seriously we are taking violence. We can only know what is happening if you report it to us. We want to know so that we can intervene and cause the situation to be dealt with condignly. I have sat in the meetings with Minister Robeson-Ben on all of these issues. We have spent time training the Guyana Police Force officers so that there are officers in every region who are trained to cater for cases of gender-based violence, to take the reports, and it is extremely disturbing to read that these reports are not being taken, or at least from the reports it's alleged that these reports are not being taken. I sat in discussion with my colleague and I have asked him in no uncertain terms that these officers be held accountable when the reports are not taken. But if you call 914, it is through that medium we can also ensure that the reports are taken, the police arrive on the spot, and that the matter is dealt with. We really would like you, if you know of any situations, because you read about people knowing that these persons experience violence over and over again. You are our eyes and ears on the ground. The family, the neighbors, all the people who know of these things happening, let us know. We even have the Community Advocate Network, where you can work with us to educate your community, to help with reporting, and to get us to intervene in cases where we may not know. Gender-based violence, domestic violence, is not a new thing. It has been there for a long time. But we have to keep consistently working on this until every perpetrator understands that the law will deal with them condignly. The passage of the Family Violence Act in 2024 has several provisions which hold the police accountable, it holds the perpetrator accountable, and there is now a criminal measure within the Family Violence Act so that perpetrators of violence can be arrested and placed before the courts and charged for violence against any member within a family construct. I really urge you to utilize this reporting mechanism of 914 because in addition to that, we offer shelter for victims of violence, or survivors as we call them. We offer a survivor advocate to assist the person who's experiencing violence. We also pay 3 months' rent to someone who is experiencing violence so that they can get out of that situation. And the law also provides that a person may remain in the home with their children and the perpetrator has to leave that home. These are all protective mechanisms in the law to help. We cannot watch on as our women continue, and our girls continue to experience this level of violence. Please, I ask, let us report it. We don't want any more cases, whether it's a senior or a pensioner or a child, a young person, or a woman in her adult years. Please, I ask you to help us so that we can really eradicate the violence that exists. Violence is not a way to deal with conflict. There is always going to be conflict and disagreement. And if those things arise at the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security, we have counselors and officers who can intervene to help with conflict. We have 2 Hope and Justice Centers, one in Luzignan, one in Virginujan. In these centers, we offer all the forms of help, whether there is a police report that needs to be made, so you can actually make the police report at these centers. Whether there is a medical to be done, it is done there. If there is counseling or survivors advocate, we provide counselors and advocate. And also we provide free legal assistance if people will like to get out, and as they should, if it is that kind of a relationship, it is unhealthy. And we also help because children may be involved. So those are all the ways in which we help a person to get out, extricate themselves. But as family members, don't dismiss it, don't shun them, don't think that this situation might change. Maybe if they are not able to make the report themselves and you see that they're not making an effort to get out of the situation, as a concerned mother, sibling, any family member, any neighbor, you make the report for them. The law provides for it, the hotline provides for it. You don't even have to give your information. That information, if given, will be treated with confidentiality, but we don't require that. We just need to know who is being affected, where the location is, and we will intervene. Because we cannot afford to lose another life. 3 lives in the beginning of 2025, way too much. And as the Minister of Human Services and Social Security, I really want you to know that there are systems in place to assist. Please, let us stop this kind of violence. And as I say this, I want to speak to people who are inflicting violence. Not only is the law there to address the kind of violence that you are inflicting and to address the kind of violence you're inflicting condignly, but we are also going to this year start a program focusing on at-risk perpetrators and perpetrators to work on their rehabilitation, to help them to deal with conflict and anger and all the things, because they're triggers for violence, and we must not dismiss these opportunities where help is available. To the families, to the friends, to the communities of those women who have lost their lives so tragically, my heartfelt condolences to all of you. And may God help you through this very difficult time, and the ministry is here to stand with you.